Welcome to The Explainer. I'm super pumped you're here with us today because we are mapping out something you guys have been asking for a lot, a complete, actionable 2026 cloud engineer roadmap. If you're itching to break into tech, or maybe you want to turbocharge your current career without getting stuck in years of heavy programming theory, well, you've hit the jackpot. We're going to walk through the exact step-by-step staircase to take you from a total beginner to absolutely job-ready.
Let's just address the elephant in the room right off the bat. Do you love the whole idea of working in tech but literally cringe at the thought of coding? Like, does just hearing the words data structures and algorithms make you want to run for the hills? Look, it's a super common fear. Honestly, so many people feel completely locked out of the industry just because they have zero interest in becoming a software dev. But here's the absolute best news. Cloud engineering is the perfect code-free alternative. It's this highly lucrative, fast-paced role that completely ditches traditional programming.
So here's our game plan for today. 1. What is the cloud? 2. The no-coding path. 3. Our core skills timeline. 4. Practice and certifications. And 5. Landing the job. All right, let's dive right in.
Okay, kicking things off with Section 1. What exactly is the cloud? Think of it as renting versus buying.
To put it as simply as possible, cloud computing is basically just a model where massive service providers rent out their computer and storage resources to you on demand. Take Netflix, for example. They don't own all their own servers. No way. They rent computing power from Amazon AWS. So instead of a company buying their own physical hardware, stuffing it into a freezing cold back room, and maintaining the whole shebang themselves, they just rent that power over the internet.
Back in the day, traditional IT meant you had to buy all that hardware up front. And if you didn't end up using all the server space you bought, well, tough luck, you still paid for it. Cloud computing completely flipped the script on this with a pay-as-you-go model. You literally only pay for exactly what you use, right when you use it. When you scale that up, companies are saving absolute mountains of cash and management time. And because everyone is moving to the cloud, they desperately need people to manage it.
Moving on to Section 2. Let's talk about the no-coding path and focusing on troubleshooting.
Here's the deal. If you step into a cloud engineer role, your daily life doesn't involve staring blankly at a blinking cursor, trying to write thousands of lines of code. Instead, you swap coding for troubleshooting and exploration. Your main gig is infrastructure. You're setting up these rented resources, managing them, and playing detective when two systems just won't talk to each other. It is an absolute dream for problem solvers who want to get hands-on with cool tech without actually being software developers.
All right, Section 3, Core Skills Timeline. This is all about building your foundation.
Now listen closely. Do not jump straight into the cloud. Honestly, that's the single biggest mistake beginners make. You have to build a base first. Step 1 is mastering operating systems. Step 2 is networking. And only then, in Step 3, do you tackle cloud basics. This is your high-level progression.
Let's attach a real, totally actionable timeline to this. If you can carve out just 2 to 3 hours a day, this is 100% doable. Give yourself 1 full month to focus purely on Linux OS basics. After that, spend 15 to 30 days strictly grinding on networking fundamentals. Once you've got those 2 pillars locked in, tackling the cloud provider basics becomes an ongoing, way smoother journey.
So for that first month, you really need to hone in on Linux. Why? Because practically the entire internet's cloud infrastructure runs on Linux. You don't have to be an absolute master of everything, but you've got to understand the boot system and how that process works. You need to grasp memory management, disk management, and of course those essential Linux commands. This right here is the bedrock of your future troubleshooting skills.
Then, during your 15 to 30 days of networking study, there are a few non-negotiables. You need to know DNS, which is kind of like the internet's phone book, and DHCP, which automatically hands out IP addresses to devices. You also got to understand the OSI model, basically how data physically travels across cables in the web, and how SSL keeps all those connections encrypted and safe. The big picture goal here is connectivity troubleshooting. Think about it. The cloud is literally just someone else's computer connected to yours over the internet. If you don't get how two machines talk, or how to fix it when they stop talking, you just can't be an effective cloud engineer. That brings us to Section 4, Practice and Certifications, the smart approach.
Here is a crucial reality check. Theory alone just won't cut it. You are never going to build real, solid expertise just by passively watching videos or skimming through documentation. You have to get your hands dirty. Luckily, the heavy hitters like AWS, GCP, and Microsoft all toss you free credits and trial accounts. You absolutely have to take advantage of these and practice live in a real cloud environment.
And that actually brings up a huge insider secret. You've got to focus on real learning and knowledge before you start chasing certifications. It is so ridiculously common in the IT world to see folks just collecting certificates like trading cards for their resume, but they completely lack the actual practical skills. Please, do not fall into that trap. Learn the stuff first, get that messy practical experience, then use the certification to just officially validate what you already know how to do.
Okay, so when you are finally ready to prove your chops, these are the exact beginner-level certs you want to target. If you're going with Amazon, shoot for the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate. Leaning toward Google? Go for the GCP Associate Cloud Engineer. Or if you're taking the Microsoft path, you'll want the Azure Administrator Associate. Snagging just one of these, backed by actual hands-on knowledge, is totally your golden ticket.
All right, the final stretch, Section 5, landing the job and hiring strategies.
Your very first step is getting all this hard work down on paper. You have to build a really strong, clear resume that explicitly shouts out your new, practical skills in Linux, networking, and the cloud. Seriously, don't bury these. They are goldmine keywords that automated applicant tracking systems are actively hunting for, so put them front and center to prove you've got the exact foundation they're desperately looking for.
But I want to leave you with an ultimate bonus tip for your job hunt. Prioritize getting referrals over direct applications. Hitting apply on a massive job board usually just launches your resume right into a black hole. Instead, while you're putting in your 2 to 3 hours of study time a day, get on LinkedIn and actively build connections. Chat with HR folks, recruiters, or people who are already killing it as cloud engineers. Getting an internal referral is hands down the fastest way to skip that massive application pile and score an actual interview.
So, we've walked through the what, the why, and the step-by-step how. You've got the timeline, you've got the strategy. Now, the execution is completely up to you. I'm going to leave you with this to chew on. Look at the massive players out there, AWS, Google, Microsoft. Knowing that you can build a highly lucrative, entirely code-free career with just a few hours of focus a day, which cloud provider are you going to master first? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer.